Hi everyone, it's Sonia McDonald here, and I'm the CEO and founder of Leadership HQ and McDonald Inc. And we're all about building a world of kind, courageous, and great leaders, teams, cultures, and leadership across the globe. And we do that through workshops, through coaching, through programs, through our memberships, through our blogs, through our speaking, through everything. Like, we have so much that we do at McDonald Inc. and Leadership HQ to be the best you can be, because we are a great believer that organizations that are truly successful, it all starts with leadership. And if there's one thing we took away from last year, is that great leadership matters, and that we need leadership now more than ever before. So how do we move from manager to leader? Now, if you're wanting to climb the career ladder and get that title of manager, which many of us do, some of us don't, many of us do, and I'm a great believer that leadership isn't a role or title. It's a mindset, it's an attitude, and it's a choice. But thanks, Steve, and I really welcome comments around this live as well. But how do we move from manager to leader? So if we're wanting to climb the career ladder to get to management roles, or we're a manager and we're like, okay, I'm a manager and I really want to be a great leader, because manager and leadership are very, very different. A lot of people get confused and they think that it's the same. They actually think, well, if I'm a manager and I've got the title, therefore I must be a leader. Leadership and management are very different. If you think about management, you can manage a function, you can manage a department. There's lots of different things that you can do in terms of managing. And management is all around, directions, budgeting, planning, giving structure, those sort of things, more operational. Whereas leadership is, if you think about the word leadership or leader, things come to mind like leaders are visionary, they're inspirational, they're all about ethics, they're all about being great communicators, they're all about bringing everyone along the journey, they're all about being courageous, they're all about being inclusive. There's lots of, however, they're not intertwined. One can be both. Absolutely, Francis, one can be both. You can be a great manager and a great leader. So, and I think a lot of managers actually want that. I've also met leaders that are great managers. There's actually some famous leaders out there that go, hey, I'm not the greatest manager. That you can absolutely, yes, interconnected. Yes, they can be very much interconnected. And that's what's really important about leadership. So today I wanted to take you on a journey to really get you to think about, how do we transition from manager to leader? Because I want you to see that you can absolutely go, you know what? If I want to be a manager one day, how can I start looking at my leadership now? Or if I am in a management role, how can I start looking at being the best leader I can be? And leadership can absolutely be learned as well. And I think that's really important. So I just wanted to go through a few things with you today to help you transition from manager to leader. First thing is, start seeing yourself as a leader. All right, start going, okay, if I want to be a great leader, what do I need to be a great leader? So it takes self-awareness. So I think self-awareness is the key when it comes to being a great leader. So it's things like learning, getting to know who you are, okay? Getting to understand how you see leadership. What is your belief system around leadership? Think about leaders that you kind of identify with, or leaders that have made a difference to you. What did they do or say that made a difference to you? What would you like to stand for as a leader? What are your values? Values are so important. If you go to our Leadership HQ website, you'll see there's, I think it's under resources or tools. We've actually got lots of great tools around this, free tools that you can download. There's a really good values tool that you can download, so go for that as well. Values are really important because they actually drive your behavior. So look at your values is really important. Look at what are your strengths as a leader as well. You've got strengths and talents for a reason. Ask for feedback. So talk to people around you and ask for feedback around how they see you as a leader, as a person, where they think your strengths are. Also, where they think there could be gaps for you around being a great leader. Feedback is such a powerful tool. I'm a big one for feedback. Recently, we put a group of great leaders through some sort of feedback work. We use a 360 diagnostic. Again, it can be really valuable for people to give you feedback around where they think your strengths are and what are some of the things they think you need to work on as a leader. Also, if you're actually wanting to, I mean, as I said, like moving from manager to leader is definitely about mindset. It's definitely about how you can look at being, the best that you can be. It's around self-awareness and learning as well. It is sometimes, like in terms of that transition, it can be really uncomfortable. So it's really important that you embrace being uncomfortable, that you go, it takes courage to be a leader as well. So kind of embrace the uncomfortable feelings or uncomfortable processes or growth or learnings that you're going to be going through, because self-awareness takes courage. Getting feedback takes courage. Picking up a book around leadership. I've written some great books on leadership. You can see there's hundreds of books behind me. I'm very passionate about the leadership space. Read some great books about leadership. There's great TED Talks. Read articles. I spend each and every day learning something new about leadership because I'm so passionate about it, because I find it helps me keep learning and growing, because leaders are learners. So the way to transition from manager to leader, and just, as I said, it's mindset, self-awareness and growth and learning, is keep learning about leadership, because you can absolutely learn leadership as well. What else in terms of this transition from manager to leader? I think the other thing that's really important is I meet lots of people and we work with lots of people and they have the role of manager, right? And they go, oh, I'm a manager, so therefore I'm automatically a leader. I've got the title. Let's put the ego, put the ego at the door. Congratulations, you've got the title of a manager. That is brilliant. But just because you're a manager doesn't mean that you're automatically like, I'm the great leader, okay? It takes humility to be a leader. You need to be humble. And I think it's really important that you make sure that you understand that leadership is also about others. All right. So if you want to transition from manager to leader, you need to make leadership about others. You need to make it about how you can serve others, how you can help them be the best they can be as well. I think also when you become a new manager, there's a great book called The First 100 Days. Grab the book. It's a really great book. Start reading around, like, when you're new as a manager, how you can spend the first kind of few months really getting to understand the team, the people that you lead, be clear around what you stand for as a leader. As I said, like, it's really important that you take a step back. You're not a bull in a china shop and you're out there going bang, bang, bang. I just want to make a change and I want to change this and I want to do that and I want to prove myself. Take a step back, own that you are a new manager and leader, and observe, be curious, ask lots and lots of questions, listen to your people, connect. If you want to be a great leader, if you want to transition to manager to leader, I call it leadership by walking around. Spend time walking around, talking to your different team members, connecting with them, getting to learn who they are. So important. Actually, by the way, while we're talking, I actually have been reading this book. This is a really, really great book. Oh, it's not very good. This is a great book as well. The ex-CEO of Westpac wrote it, Brian Hartzer. He does talk about the leadership star in this. If you're wanting to read a good book to help you transition again from manager to leader, this is a really good one. I had a call with Brian a few weeks ago to get to know him and what he stands for. And he does talk about the leadership star, which is, I really like the fact he talks about caring, celebrating. That's really important. And when you transition to leader, from manager to leader, I'm not saying that managers don't do this, but helping not only care about your people, but celebrating successes and acknowledging their successes as well. Clear the way, clarity and context. And he talks about communication as well. So I'd recommend this book. I've nearly finished it. It's a really good book. And I just went on a little tangent there because I forgot to mention this book in this live. I've also written a really great blog on Leadership HQ website around how to go from peer to manager. I find, again, a lot of people struggle with this, not only this manager to leader, but also peer to manager. So how, if I'm working within a team and we're all working together, do I transition from going to everyone's friend or mate, as you might call it here in Australia, to going to manager? And if you go to our blog on Leadership HQ, there's a really great article with some great tips around how to go from peer to manager, and also embracing that, because it's really important. I'm a great believer around promoting within and building up great leadership and a leadership pipeline and succession planning within organisations. This is why we are so passionate about partnering with organisations to prepare their emerging leaders or the people within their organisations that in terms of where they're wanting to go within the organisation in their careers, that they want to manage, they want to lead, and we prepare them now before we throw them into the deep end. It's so valuable that you start learning this now. If you're wanting to climb the ladder, start learning leadership now and start seeing yourself as a leader now. Start acting and behaving and believing in yourself as a leader now. And then you'll start to see people are going to start to notice that as well. But when we move from a peer to a manager, it's a very different transition as well. So have a look at the blog and some of the tips and tricks to help you again with some of those tools and skills to help you transition to that, because again, that's a different when you're actually working alongside someone to when you're actually leading and managing them. Again, I'm a great believer that, we all should lead by example, that we're all one team, that it's, again, you need to be able to lead your peers, get to know them, get to understand what their strengths are, tap into their strengths, focus on those. And, they might have different strengths to use, which is great. Surround yourself with people with different strengths as well. So just to kind of do a bit of a recap, whether you're going from peer to manager, whether you're wanting to be a future manager, whether you're transitioning from manager to leader, I want you to see leadership as a mindset, see it as a behavior. And it starts with, it starts with integrity. It starts with character, okay, understanding who you are and having a strong sense of self and a character, and understanding who you are and what you stand for and why leadership matters to you, why you want to be a great leader, and making leadership about others. That self-awareness piece is really key. That self-belief piece is really key. That confidence and building up the skills, because it's definitely another skill set to learn leadership, and I call them power skills, people skills, how to lead teams, how to lead people, how to get the best out of teams and people. It starts with you and what you stand for and your integrity, your character, being ethical, being honest, being vulnerable, admitting, making mistakes and saying that you're human, that you don't know everything, being curious is so important, asking lots of questions, understanding what's important and what the strengths are of those around you and tapping into those and lifting them up as well, okay? Making leadership about others. Don't automatically go, I've got this title of manager, so therefore I'm already great, I'm already a leader. You might be great, but keep learning, keep growing, asking for feedback. If you want to transition from being not only a great manager or a manager to being a great leader as well, start understanding what leadership is, okay? And start learning leadership. And, if you'd love to know more about what we do at Leadership HQ at McDonald Inc., please reach out to us. This is a really great book called First Comes Courage. I've also got another great book called Leadership Attitude. It was my first book that I wrote. It's a great book for people that are transitioning from manager to leader. I would love to know, everyone that's on this great live today that are commenting or listening, what advice or what would you say to people that are in management and you're thinking about, how do I become a great leader as well? Or if I want to move into management, How do I step into that role where I am a manager or I'm a team leader or a supervisor, where I'm all of a sudden being there to inspire and care and support and coach others around me? I mean, what advice would you give others that wanting to transition into leadership, other than absolutely self-awareness and making leadership about others? And also, I think it's important to understand your purpose as a leader and where you're going. What is the vision that you have? Where do you need to take the team and those around you so you can take them along the journey with you as well? And also showing gratitude to your team. If you want to move from manager to leader, make sure that you're not leading them via your phone or computer. Have the conversations, connect. As I said, be curious. Listening as well, I think, is so important. Really, really listening and being present. But being grateful for people as well, I think, and seeing people as people. If you want to transition from manager to leader, I think kindness plays a big part in this. You can still be strong as a leader and be kind and show respect. And also, you can absolutely, to be a great leader, it's about being strong. It's about making sure that you're setting boundaries, that people know exactly what their expectations are of them, that you have that vision and that clarity and you take them along the journey with you. I think those sort of things, and also acknowledging like what they're doing is great and thanking them for it. Anyone else got anything they would love to share, or any of their favorite books, or anything they would love to comment on today around what it takes to transition from being a manager to a leader? And remember, leadership and management's not leadership's not a role or title. Even though you might have the role or title of a manager, it's really important that you go, I need to be also a great leader here. So if anyone's got any other comments they'd love to make as well, thank you. A number of you have been making some really lovely comments here. If there's anything else that we can do to serve you or help you, because leadership is about how we can serve and help others, please reach out to us at McDonald Inc. We have a fantastic membership on McDonald Inc. Check it out from $1 a week. Check out our books. Check out our free blogs and resources. Absolutely, Francis. Oh, yes, I did forget to mention that. Be humble, lose your ego. If you want to be a great leader, understand also the organization's culture and their values. If you want to move from manager to leader, you need to lead the culture within the organization. You need to also understand what the values are and espouse them and help your team as well around those values and behaviors as well. Understand how your boss works, bring your value to those areas. So valuing your staff. Thanks, Francis, being there to celebrate birthdays. Yeah, I think that's great on different days. Again, I always say this is why self-awareness is key. The more self-aware you are of others, the more self-aware of yourself, the more self-aware you are of others as well. So thank you for listening to my live. You're all amazing. Have a beautiful and wonderful weekend. It is Mother's Day on Sunday here in Australia. I don't know if it is around the rest of the world. I should have maybe checked that out, but I think Mother's Day should be every day. But for all those incredible guardians and parents and mothers out there, you are the most amazing leaders on this planet. And being a parent, being a mother, being a father, being a guardian is the most important leadership role. So I want you, if you are a parent, if you are a mother like myself, I'm a mother of a young woman who is remarkable. She is absolutely my greatest achievement. And she makes me a better leader. I want to be the best leader I can be for her so I can lead by example. And that is, leadership is about being a role model and leading by example. I'm not saying I'm perfect, right? I'm definitely far from perfect as a mother and as a leader. However, I understand that and I'm kind to myself. I admit that I'm imperfect. I admit the things that I could work on, but I also know what is really great about who I am as a leader and as a parent, as a mother. And I only want to bring out the best in her, and I want to bring out the best in all of you. That's why I always say when I work with people is that I am truly courageous and kind in the work we do, and I'll lift you up to be the best you can be. And because I am nurturing at the same time, because I truly care and we truly care about bringing out the best in you and teaching people and giving them the skills and the mindsets and the tools around this leadership space. Because leadership isn't just as in your 9-to-5 job. Leadership is everywhere. It's in the community. And being Mother's Day on Sunday, it is the greatest leadership role that we have, is that of being a parent or a guardian to all those mothers and parents, fathers and guardians and grandparents and grandmothers and everyone out there that are looking after and caring and loving our future leaders. You are absolutely remarkable. You're amazing. Remember to be kind to yourself. Remember that you are a leader in this space. And I want you all to see that, yeah, you can just absolutely transition from manager to leader. And I want you all to see yourself as leaders and to remember to go out there and absolutely rock this space. So reach out if we can help anytime, and always stay safe and always stay kind. Thank you.